What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Diction and welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today we're going to be doing kind of a quick review on the girls Frontline skins that were released within this strong box. I haven't been around to do it mainly because again, I was stuck in Indiana for about a few weeks. And finally that I had the time, I could finally review and just kind of make up for lost time with a bunch of different videos. So yes, the Girls Frontline is kind of a collaboration in COD Mobile that Global has just not really received. It's received pretty much almost every single other collaboration, but Girls Frontline was one that was highly requested for a long time, mainly because all of the skins have been just stellar, just absolutely insane. It's not to say the collaborations from other stuff like Nier Automata or like anyone's before that, like Gundam, were bad. But before those two collaborations came in, most of the collaborations weren't really that great. If anything, they were more, I guess, anticlimactic. I mean, there were some like Kevin Durant or, like the Football Kings, which was Neymar and Messi. Like those were okay, but usually when it comes to like these anime type of collaborations, they typically have the best skins. And I'm not just referring to just simply the legendary skins within those draws, but I'm also talking about some of the epic skins that were also released within the Chinese server and the Garena server. Because even those were actually pretty good and they were also requested for a long time. And it kind of made me wonder, and a lot of players wonder, why we were kind of kept from this one single collaboration. And honestly, I can't really give you a good answer. Maybe there's some sort of contract to only have it on the Chinese version in Garena, and maybe at some point that contract expired, so now it's going to be available to, to just basically us, like in global. Really just speculating here. I truly don't know what the true answer is. Maybe you guys could tell me in the comments section, but yeah, I actually don't know why they kept it from us. But yes, we are going to be reviewing these strongbox skins. It consists of the ICR Gold Glitter, I think, and the QQ9. Well, it doesn't really have a title to it. Maybe some of you guys might know the original name of this QQ9 blueprint, but right now it's just calling it the Girls Frontline QQ9, much like the ASM10 Girls Frontline legendary skin that was released a few weeks ago. But there are also another two that do change the geometry and then another two that really don't. So I'm not really going to cover the ones that don't change the geometry, but I'll be covering the ones that, actually do change the physical appearance of these guns. So the last two are for the 50GS and the other one is for the Type 25, I believe. It's called like I forgot what it's called, the Frosted something. I don't know, but it's like a very badass skin. I promise you that. If I could say anything, the main reward probably was the ICR, given that it's probably the one that looks the best. But of course, the other ones also, like I said, change the physical appearance and they do make them pretty appealing. But of course, despite their appearance and despite them being, just having the theme of Girls Frontline, there are some special traits that these things do have that not a lot of epics normally have, which is voice lines. Voice lines are a feature that global players kind of envied this, the Chinese version as well as the Garena version for, mainly because it seemed like a feature like that was always seemed to be just locked behind Garena and just basically just those two main versions of COD Mobile. And yes, you could say that the CX9 Mythic as well as the Fennec Mythic had voice lines, but at the time, like maybe like a year or two ago, those were probably like the only two weapons that had voice lines. But some of these girls' frontline skins, especially with epics, they actually do have voice lines whenever you do start up a game. These voice lines mainly activated like during the countdown, like when you're about to move, you would hear the voice line. And again, these skins are about like maybe 3 to 4 years old. So we didn't really have this at the time, and we were kind of jealous of the Chinese version and Garena for having these, and we didn't. In fact, Global, like honestly, was kind of left behind a lot during those times. Like there were certain legendary skins that were kept from us, like not just with Girls Frontline, but with other collaborations. And it just like over time they started releasing them, but it's something I felt like we could have just had like around the same time that they did. I just don't understand why that didn't happen. So the gameplay that you were just seeing right now was basically just the ICR gold glitter. I think that's what it's called or whatever. I don't know. It's something with glitter. I don't give a fuck at this point. It's 5:18 in the morning. I don't really feel like searching up the names. But yes, this one is, I would say, the top weapon in that strong box. The next weapon I want to review, I guess I didn't really review the ICR, but yeah, different iron sight, voice line looks good, and gold and black and all that's good stuff. But yes, the QQ9, this is called the, at least for now, the girls frontline QQ9. It's nothing too crazy. It does have a different iron sight. It does make it a little bit easier to use. It also does have a voice line whenever you do start the game as well. Camo coverage is, as you would expect, is pretty good. The anime girl on the side, I'm not really sure if it's like animated, but I don't really think it is. But yeah, it's actually not really that bad for an epic. Also, for a lot of you guys that are basically starting off this game, if you guys really do want to pick up a QQ9 skin, even if it's not a mythic, you could pick this one up, especially if you have some gold coupons in reserve. It shouldn't really cost too much. I mean, for me, it costs a lot. Basically, all my gold coupons to get everything. But yeah, for you guys, I'm not sure. Maybe your luck would be a little bit better. So now we move on to the Type 25 Frosted Moon. That's actually what it's called. I saw it through like just the footage. So this one honestly might actually be my personal favorite only because of how much it actually changes the Type 25, especially with that circle iron sight. It kind of reminds me of the old days when a lot of different guns back in the Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 days had like a circular iron sight. It's just something that I'm afraid is not really too common. Overall, the Frosted Moon is actually all right. I actually had no problem with it, but I would say again, it's probably my favorite out of all of them. Also for the Deagle, I know I didn't really get too much gameplay footage for it. This is some gameplay from the stream, but I mean, it's a pretty solid design as well. It makes it look a little bit more, I guess, it gives it more of a like, I guess, a tactical design while also having like just the usual anime girl on it. And I think it does have some voice lines. I didn't really check too much. But yeah, just basically throughout this entire video, I know I'm kind of like half-assing this review. Um, yeah, most of the skins are actually like just amazing. And I don't really know whether or not they're going to bring these things back. Maybe this was just going to be a one-off thing and they're just never going to have any girls frontline skins again for us until like maybe like another 5 years. So if you guys really, really want to, I mean, I do recommend picking this up. Honestly, all these skins are just amazing. And again, voice lines, superb. Something that like even in 4 years ago, that was some pretty good stuff. However, like I said, choice is up to you. I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night, y'all.